The case is more than 4 years old. Police officers Mario Laksamana, David Manila, and Anthony Kenga are accused of crimes dating back to 2008, and if they were a danger now, they would have been a danger then. Those were some of the arguments made by defense attorneys in court. But Assistant Attorney General Nelson Werner maintains that the Blue House victims threatened by police in 2008 are still in fear of them today. Werner put a witness on the stand to testify about the fear still lingering among victims. Tracy Volta is a Guam police officer but a task force agent assigned to the FBI. Volta says he spoke with each of the 16 victims and they told him
that she feared the police.
How about Esther?
She was also in fear of the police.
What about Neil?
She was afraid of the police.
How about Sack?
She was still afraid of the police.
How about Frida?
She was still afraid of any repercussions from the police.
What was the nature of the concern?
Retaliation by the police department against them.
There are a number of other factors the court looked at.
Attorney Peter Perez, who represents Laksamana, argues that there's no evidence to suggest that his client poses a threat. He notes that his client has a good reputation as a member of the community, and for the first time, we got a glimpse of one of the officers being saddled with emotion as Laksamana wept in court while his attorney fought for his release.
He's been a resident of Guam for 24 years. Next, family ties. His spouse lives here, his 2 children live here, his brothers and sisters live here, his in-laws live here. He's got extensive family ties. His reputation, he has an excellent reputation as a father, a husband, and when we came here during the first appearance, I had approximately 7 police officers who were going to vouch for his reliability. There are no mental health issues, there are no substance abuse issues, in fact, he doesn't even drink.
They filed this under the 08 case.
Attorney William Pohl also argued that his client, David Manila, poses no threat to the victims as he has previously cooperated with the federal government when the case went to trial in district court. Manila previously admitted to having sex with one of the victims. On the issue that the government waited 4 years before making any formal allegations against the police officers, Werner counters that the investigation is not 4 years old.
This case has not been around for 4 years. This case is now here. We're now going forward on this case. There was a case against Cha in federal court that started a number of years ago. This investigation has not been around for 4 years. This investigation is now, and we're proceeding now against these individuals.
Werner supported his argument by accusing Officer Kenga of taunting 2 of the victims as recent as yesterday in court during their arraignment.
We have young women who were intimidated and forced into prostitution. And as I pointed out in my brief, that intimidation went on yesterday in this courtroom by Defendant Kenga. And we have real concerns that if these gentlemen are released and they're able to go out on their own recognizance and further the intimidation that was started a number of years ago, it will jeopardize the government's case.
All the things that Mr. Kenga is accused of.
But Kenga's counsel, Attorney Levin Camacho, disputed Werner's statement and said his client wouldn't be able to identify any of the victims if he saw them today.
Basically, there's no evidence that he is a danger to anyone in the community or to any of the victims in particular. He's advised me he doesn't even know who the victims are. He wouldn't know them if we were to see them in the room.
With respect to whether he recognizes any of the victims, he was glaring at 2 of the victims in this courtroom yesterday. We were talking about defense case. I understand that they've been here for a long time. I understand they've got family here, they're police officers. I understand they're probably not going to go anywhere. My concern is protecting the victims. I don't have control of these individuals. They're out in the community. We have concern with respect to the safety of these victims. They're victims. I have nothing.